Evening, everybody. Oh, sorry, I've left that up. Hayden sent me a picture of him and his mates. Let me get rid of that. There we go. Okay, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Bitesize, our weekly, yes, weekly now we do this, weekly show all about sort of running gear. I just made a word out. Gear and kit. I put it together. Anyway, all about running shoes, gear and kit, and whatever really comes to mind, which is not much at the moment. I was sort of taken aback, really, I said, when Hayden sent me that picture of him and his mates from a few years ago. But yes, so this is the sort of Monday show, the little brother to the big brother that happens on a Friday at 7 o'clock. That's every week. Sorry, I'm just reading because I'm now getting messages about the opening, and so that's that. And if you're listening to this as a podcast, thank you very much for taking us out on your run with you. We really do appreciate it, as always. The show goes from strength to strength, and I've got to give a shout out to Ben. I'm not going to say any more than that, but I just recorded a very special episode with Ben. And I just wanted to publicly thank him. That episode is very powerful, people. It's a special edition, and that will be coming out soon. And it was an honor to spend some time with him. So watch out for that one. We've got a special coming out real soon. I think you really will appreciate that. So as always, how this show works, if you're listening to this, we're doing this live. We do our podcast live because we're hardcore. We don't muck about, yeah. And during that, everybody's firing up the chat box. So if you are watching this live, make sure you get into that chat box and let's start talking about whatever you want to talk about, whether it's running shoes, reviews, what we've got coming up, races, even if you want a bit of I don't know, a bit of coaching help, whatever. Stick that in there and we'll get through them over the next 30 something odd minutes. And so that's that. That's the sort of admin out of the way. I would say thanks to all our YouTube members. You can join as a member on YouTube, and that supports the channel. So I appreciate that. Keep the old shoe reviews rolling in. We've got this week another busy week. I'm turning it down in June. I know I say that every month, but I'm turning it down in June. Hopefully, to instead of being every day, I'm hoping we do like 5 videos instead of 7. But let's see. That's always the plan. But I always end up with more shoes than I know what to do. And then I think of brilliant ideas while I'm out running. And then that's how we get the video ideas. So like, I will think of something, like I've just thought of a video today that I'm going to film. And I'll think about that. And then I'll end up just doing it. And that's the beauty of this outlet that we have in terms of creativity. So we'll put that video together and that could come out in the next couple of weeks. So that's how I kind of roll. I don't sit there and write lists of stuff that I do write lists because I've got ADHD, but I don't think about, right, I'm going to, script this and make this a big, amazing video. I think of these ideas and then I usually turn the camera on. That's how it usually works. Anyway, so I've totally gone off on a kill. But this week on the channel, I think, and I haven't had time to check this, so apologies, but I think we've got the decathlon shoe, the KS 900, I think it's called, the discount shoe from Decathlon on the channel this week, which has been surprisingly good. So watch out for that one. We've got, I think this week, and I hope it is this week, we've got a very cool Nike video. So if you like Nike shoes, I think you're going to dig that. It's a bit of a look back and a look forward. And we may or may not have the Trabuco Max 2 video this week. I can't remember, to be honest with you, because today we had the Hackney Half, and thanks to everybody who said hello to me at the Hackney Half. I really appreciate it. Thanks to everybody who's given the love to the video today. I really appreciate it. I hope you all realise that we were basically just there for a good day out. Tomorrow we drop the ASICS Metaspeed Sky Plus review, the race review, which I promised you after you guys talked me into getting that shoe for to try out. So that review is going to drop tomorrow. So thanks again for you guys who recommended me getting those, and then Gary who started the whole combo off, so that's cool. And then Wednesday, get this, actually we might not have the Trabuco Max, but Wednesday we've got, you're gonna love this, a race review of the Skechers Max Road 6, because Simon ran the Hackney Half in the Skechers Max Road 6, so we thought it'd be cool to do a video about that. So that's coming on Wednesday. So actually the Trabuco Max 2 might not make it this week, so it'll probably be next week. Okay, right. So that's roughly what's going on the channel. There's so many good things coming, by the way. Big things coming, people. I don't know when I can announce any of it. I've got no idea, but it's just blowing my mind at the moment. So stand by because it's just going to be epic when we can talk about it. So I think that's it. Someone was asking about the Boston 12. I don't know who it is. We'll come on to you guys in just a sec, but I am hopefully getting them. Whether I'm getting them early, I'm not sure yet. We're trying. So just bear with me. I'm on the case because I really, really want that shoe, like big time. And actually, I think about it. I've got to give guys a Start Fitness a big shout out. Get over to startfitness.co.uk. Get 10% off all their shoes and other running stuff. Use the code 40 runs. But I've got to give a shout out to the guys at Start Fitness. Okay, right. So let's dive into the chat. You're already lighting it up. As I said, keep it coming, people. And we will work through these. So anything you want to talk about, whatever it is, as long as it's not football, I'm happy to talk about it, or biking. Right. So evening from Mike, Martin, Dawn, Andrew, Mick, Alf, Brandon, Richard, Barbara, Robert, Paul, Gary. Thank you, Gary. David, Mark. Oh my God, there's so many of you. Paul over in Northern Ireland. Andrea, Martin. Oh my God, you guys. Thanks ever so much for all the love and for tuning in live. So let's strike while the iron is hot. It'll give you a bit of a insight into. So Metaspeed Sky Plus, I say video drops tomorrow, but I'm stuck in a bit of a rock and a hard place with it. And if you've not seen the video, watch it. But I ran 146 and change, 146 something or other yesterday. I was running pretty much at goal pace, although I sort of started at 8:20 per mile, then came down to about 8. I came down. Don't tell Ben, but at some point we was running at 7:20, and then he kept asking me what pace because the idiot forgot his watch. So I every time we asked me that, I sort of backed out because that means he was finding it a bit too hard. So he backed out. But yeah, my point is that I went through the paces in the shoe, but I ended up averaging out about, I think it was either 8 or 8:01 per mile, which is target pace for me as we train for the autumn. And the shoe felt better the lower the pace, which you'd expect with a carbon super shoe. But I do like a carbon super shoe that if I'm not at ultimate target pace, so let's say the race is not going to plan or I'm just feeling ruined, I do want something that's going to look after me a little bit when I do back out of it. And the Metaspeed Sky Plus left some question marks, I would say. So yes, it was good. They featured. I got, I think, 10 miles in the shoe before I ran them yesterday. So 23 miles in the shoe in total. So happy with that in terms of, giving an idea about the shoe after those mileage and especially doing a race in them at goal pace. But yeah, it's yeah, okay. I'll let you see the video tomorrow and then see if you agree and we can talk about it next week. Is that video coming out? Oh no, it's next week. Next week, by the way, we've got the Puma Forever Run Nitro videos coming out as well. So loads coming out. Okay, right. So where do we go? David, Hackney video was great. Wish I had booked it. Yeah, honestly, I think some of you, I'll come on to it in a minute. You've seen some of the ratings from Simon and Speedgoat. Speedgoat was broken on Sunday. Apparently, I didn't run with him because we left him behind because he was too slow. Which is nice, what you do to your mates. No, he was he hasn't run for properly for about 3 months, and he was absolutely ruined. Apparently, so much so. Right, listen to this. Speedgoat was so badly ruined that he couldn't even carry the camera to film. He had to give it to Simon. Now, Simon don't. I mean, bless him. He done a cracking job with the footage I got out of it. But Speedgoat is brilliant on the GoPro. All those sort of, I wouldn't say moody shots, but stuff that Tope usually gets those shots for me. He's amazing on it. But he was in such a bad way yesterday, right? he couldn't even carry the camera. Brilliant. So that was quite amusing. So yeah, I would recommend. There's a I think I'm allowed to say it. The if you get it early, I don't know what they call it, early bird. That's it. You can get that a little bit cheaper. So I would smash that. I really enjoyed it. I think it's great. Don't go in there and try and run a time. Got to give a shout out to Jatila, long run show co-host. She smashed out a PB yesterday. It was the first time she ran in alpha flies. So it's going to be frightening when she gets on a flat course what she can actually do. But yeah, I would really recommend it. I think it's a cracker. Oh, this was the comment about the Boston 12. I saw the Running Warehouse first look at the Boston 12s over the weekend and a couple of shorts. Can't wait for those to drop. And Light Strike 2.0 looks much softer in the heel. Yes. So obviously I said about that I'm trying to get the Boston 12. Hopefully we do get that early and our contacts can sort that out for us. But I'm excited about it. It looks like I think they dropped a little bit of stack in it. They did say they've dropped some weight in it. Whether it's as much as it needs to be, let's see. But also, does it feel as heavy as previous models? So let's see. I just hope that it's a shoe that lives up to what I'm expecting. I'm looking for something from that shoe that's probably a little bit firmer than the Speed 3. Not that I have a problem with Speed 3. You guys know I love the Saucony Endorphin Speed 3. But I'm looking for something that's a slightly firmer ride. I'm guessing with the Light Strike and the Light Strike Pro. But I'm looking for something that's just a little bit more of a solid shoe from Adidas that we can sort of train in and then put into some of that work where we need to do some of those tempo runs, some of that goal pace work and that kind of stuff. I think that'd be awesome if they set it up right. So let's see what happens with this Boston 12. I have high hopes for it. I hope it's a little bit more forgiving than what we had in 10 and 11. The shoe does break in, people. I think this is a misconception for many. The Boston shoes, because the Light Strike does take a little while to break in. I said it in the Adizero SL shoe. Now, that's the shoe that takes a while to come to you. You put that shoe on, and you think, Jesus, these are firm. But it does come to you. So I'm guessing that hopefully the Boston 12 with the lightness and the decrease in stack, is going to be good. Max just wrote in there 9.1 ounces in the sample size. Yeah, the sample size is usually about an 8 or a 9. So let's see what that comes over. Again, I'm not that fussed or overly fussed in weight as long as it's not ridiculous. So let's see where it comes in at. But I think it's that feel and the way they've set up the shoe. So let's see what happens with the Boston 12. I'm really looking forward to trying it out. So let's go with there. Seamus, good to see Si on good form. Oh, he's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Watch the end of the video if you've not seen the Hackney half. He was proper on form. Mick, evening Mick. What is the difference between the Adios Pro 3 and the Prime X Strung? I'm looking to switch. Quite a lot of stack height, I would say. And the uppers obviously different with the Prime X Strung. The Strung is amazing. Prime X Strung is amazing. It's a high shoe. Be aware of that. But it's surprisingly stable, I would say, even though you've got a what's it load of height in it. It's surprisingly stable. When I look at some of the other shoes with that sort of stack, it doesn't roll out as much as the others do. But the uppers obviously the big thing, but also the stack height, Mick. I think you'd enjoy it, but I wouldn't necessarily run them at your local park run, which I met you at. For example, you probably roll your ankle, but they are a very good shoe. And I would recommend running a half marathon. I think, what one did I do? I did the Olympic Park half. I had a great time in it. You could even run a marathon in it if you ain't really bothered about, all these people going, oh, he's wearing an illegal shoe, which it doesn't matter. It's not illegal for you. Then crack on. But it's a cracking shoe. Thomas from Believe in the Run says the number 2, which is going to be like $300, is like amazing. So maybe if you've got 300 quid that's burning a hole in your pocket, wait for them. Is what I would say. Right. What's this one? Evening, Paul. Where is the best place to get my gait and feet tested and willing to travel? Well, I did a video. ASICS were kind enough to invite me to their store in the centre of London. I don't know whether that's appealing or not, Paul, but I think it was free for everyone, and you don't have to buy their shoes. The girl was amazing, was brilliant, took her time with me, and that's not just because we were filming. That's, she had to talk through it because I'm an idiot, and some of the stuff I didn't understand what she was going on about. And we learned a lot. And that's where I got, this stuff about, the fact that my left leg is I do pronate with my right leg. I think that some of that comes back because years and years and years ago, I used to play football and I got injured on my left-hand side. So there's, and I made like knee surgery and things like that. So I don't know whether that's to do with it or not, but I think it's weaker than my right. But I went to ASICS and they were fantastic. Really, really good. So I can't recommend enough, but I don't know whether that's doable for you. Dawn, can't wait to watch Simon's rating. At least it wasn't raining this time. Yeah. I won't ruin it, Dawn. But you want to watch Speako as well. It's so good. so good. What's this? Barbara's not allowed to do something. Barbara's not allowed to do the end of her marathon. I don't know. She's broke her wrist. Sorry to hear that. So hopefully you heal up, and we'll see you soon at a race. Evening 40 from Ian. Fancy a Puma shoe, but can't make my mind up. Deviate Nitro 2 or Forever Run, daily and the odd long run. I personally would go for the Forever Run. I just really think that's a good shoe. It's not overly light, but it's not overly complicated, and it offers mild guidance. The Nitro foam's not overly soft. You've got a nice wide platform. Yes, it's not going to give you like as much giddy up probably as the Deviate Nitro 2, but I don't know. It's a good shoe. That really is that Forever Run. I think it's one of the best shoes of the year. It came out of nowhere. And if you need a cheeky little bit of guidance, if you get knackered at the end of, tired if you're in the US, at the end of the race, at the end of your run, your long run, you've got a sweet little bit of guidance there helping you out. It's got Puma grip on it, so it's awesome. And I don't know. I just think it's just a fantastic shoe, and you can pick them up cheap. And I get messages every day, which is thanks very much. If you're not following me on Instagram, it's 40_runs. But people grabbing them from Start Fitness with the code 40runs and getting 10% off them. You know, you can get them cheap, and it's a great shoe. It's a great shoe. It really is. Okay, here we go. Mike asked this on Friday's live stream, but never got an answer. Apologies, Mike. We do try and get to all the questions on the live stream, but as you can imagine, with 4 or 5 of us talking and trying to stay, certainly on some topics, it's quite hard. But I appreciate you putting the questions in. So Mike's asking, he does shift hours. Any tips on how to find runs in? But yeah, we spoke about this before, actually, Mike, in terms of running with shifts. I've done a few plans for people who work shifts, and I speak to them about working like on a 14-day rolling basis. I mean, Kafuzi's 9-day training plan could be something to look at in terms of look at his content. But I've always found with a 14-day sort of looking at it over 14 days, you can then use it as a bit of a buffet, a bit of a menu, and you can pick out your runs according to when you're working, and you can sort of figure it out. But you're not set and working certain things on certain days, is the way I would look at it. And that's the way I've done plans for people who work sort of night shift and shift patterns and things like that. So giving yourself a slightly bigger window to look through can really make a difference. So I hope that helps. And again, appreciate you putting the question back in today. Who's this? Gaz Morris. Oh yes, smash the like button, people. No, you're meant to say, Gaz, you're meant to smash the like button if you're liking the live stream, not the fact you like a Greg's steak bake. You're meant to say that because it helps the algorithm. That's what everyone keeps saying on everybody else's live streams. Here we go. It says, Robert Smith. I took my wife and 3 girls to junior park run. Good lad. I never realised it was a thing. It's honestly, right? Junior park run, I think, is one of the best things that's been invented. I know park run is so powerful and all this, but junior park run is incredible. If you didn't know, we do a kids program here in Hertfordshire, and the kids go along, and it's like we find it's just like a pathway. We get kids coming from junior park run, but we also get kids who come to us, and then we send them to junior park run, and they love it. It's an amazing thing, and as you say, big up to the volunteers who put this on. I've got to give a shout out to Amanda from our Tuesday running group in Hertford. She's one of the run directors at Hertford, and the juniors there. She does that as well. So I've got to give her a shout out because it's an incredible thing to see all those kids running. It's just amazing. So yes, there we go. Will there be any skydiving events? No, I've retired from skydiving, Gary. Evening 40 have run Leeds and Windermere marathons in the last week. Hardcore. Good to see the 40s represented up north. Yes, and I'm coming up there. I don't know whether it's northeast, they call it, isn't it? Newcastle. I'm heading up to the northeast in 2 weeks' time for the Bladen race. And then I'm going to do park run on Saturday. So if you're up that way, make sure you come along to, at the moment, we're doing the one in Exhibition Park in Newcastle. If the fair or the whoever it is there, but we're still allowed to do it, if that makes any sense. But I'm also doing Bladen race. So come along and say hi. We do need some more satellite groups in the north of the country. So if you're interested in starting a social satellite group up, please get in touch via the website. We want more. And it comes down to amazing people like you. Sign them up. What's this? Here we go. First time catching you live. It's Curly from Australia. Here we go. Amazing. Thank you, Tony. Appreciate you tuning in from Australia. Amazing. He's currently here in Leek. It blows my mind that people from across the world listen to this show and have seen it or listened to it. It's amazing. So thank you very much, Tony. I appreciate it. What's this? Edinburgh Marathon on Sunday. What do you reckon, Fordy? The first yeah, I mean, watch my video, Gaz, of the Edinburgh Marathon. It ruined me, those first 5 miles. I think on reflection, I overhydrated because I was worried about underhydrating. But I also underestimated the downhill section. We went too hard in the downhill and then ruined my legs for the rest of the race because it is rolling. So that was my own fault. I think you're going to have a great time. The people of Edinburgh are lovely. But just be mindful of those first 5 miles. Don't go berserk down there because you'll regret it like I did. Here we go. What's this? Training for my first marathon. I need an all-round shoe to do. I would say we mentioned it already. The Puma Forever Run Nitro. It's a great shoe. Pick them up cheap. I would look at something like the Saucony Ride 15 or 16. It's a good shoe. You've got so many. I mean, you've got the Asics Glide Ride 3. You can pick them up cheap because you can go proper long in them. If you're loaded and money's not an object, you've obviously got the Nimbus 25, but also the Asics Super Blast, which I think is hands down the best marathon training shoe you can buy. But it's absolutely the wrong price at £200, but that's a phenomenal shoe if you want to get that. And here's a good shout. Hi, Gordy. I'm guessing it's 40. I've just got the New Balance Propel version 4 for £93. This last week. Can't wait to try them out. You're going to love that. I saw a geezer running Hackney in them yesterday. They're a great shoe as well. Totally underrated to a degree, I would say. People will always obviously look outside of that, but I think if you're cost conscious, you can pick them up under £100 as demonstrated, or if the Speed 3 from Saucony doesn't work from you, it's a good shoe to have a look. Right, what's this one? Evening, Mr. Ford from Duncan. Thanks, Duncan. Appreciate it. I've been doing all my runs, including London Marathon, Nova Blast 3. Fantastic shoe. Outsole's a bit terrible, but the Nova Blast 3, if the conditions aren't wet, is still an amazing shoe. It's my daily trainer of last year. It's a great, great shoe. Can't wait to see what they do. I tell you what I can't wait to see is the Kayano 30. The Kayano 29 is dull and boring. Let's hope the Kayano 30 from the pictures I've seen is as awesome as it looks. Here we go. The Adios 8 also looks a good shoe, even more at a reasonable price. Yeah, you guys have always said about the Adios 8. Is it Adios? Oh, I just burped my drink. I had this, right? Holding up to the camera. This electrolyte drink before I came on. I should never do that. So I want to know from you, is the Adios 8 worth me getting? Let me know. Maybe we'll put up a poll or something. Be interesting to know. This is a good one. Here we go. Does Speedgoat need to change his name after yesterday's race? Could it be Slow Goat? No, he's always going to be known as Speedgoat, because when Speedgoat actually does some running, he's an absolute machine. And if you don't know the story, Speedgoat got his name because he ran up and down Snowdon, the mountain, in like an hour, under an hour and 40 minutes or something ridiculous. He's an absolute beast. And that was waiting for me as well. He just flew up there and flew down. Like hills, usually he just eats them for breakfast. He's an absolute machine when it comes to running up and down hills, which is where we got Speedgoat from. But recently, he's not been doing much running because he's been working too hard, which I told him off about. And so his running taking a bit of a backseat, which I don't blame him, to be honest with you, because he did the Tokyo Marathon, right? And he did all that. And, you know, he ran a good time in Amsterdam last year. So, you know, give the boy a break. But it is great to see him struggle. Can't lie. What else? Tony's back. Moved to Saucony guys and 10 myself are being booked. Yeah, I mean, the Saucony guide shoes, the 16s, are fantastic. Sort of daily trainer with stability in it. It's a great, great shoe. Tempest is fantastic. It really is a good shoe. I keep saying it on this show every week. I can't wait to see what Tempest 2 is like. I know you guys do struggle with the arch of the shoe. No problems for me in terms of the arch of the shoe, but I know some of you guys do struggle with it. But yeah, it's a great shoe. The Tempest. You could easily run a marathon in that shoe, no problem at all. I ran a half marathon last year in the South End half. Great fun, great shoe. But the Saucony Guide 16s are really good. I think again underrated shoe. It's very similar to Guide 15. So if you're again cost conscious, grab the Guide 15, pick it up on someone like Start Fitness, probably doing it cheap. So have a look at that. What's this? The lower the ratings on your RVs, the more interested I'm doing the likes of Cambridge. Oh, ratings, I'm guessing, is what you're saying. Yes, I would. I really liked Cambridge Half Marathon. I know it caused some controversy, but I liked it. That was missed in the melee and the fallout of certain people's comments, mainly Simon. Edinburgh, yeah, I didn't, it wasn't my kind of thing. But again, I just want to make it clear. I think the people of Edinburgh are amazing, and the organisation was good, and all that sort of stuff. It just, wasn't my kind of thing. But I think everybody's different. But I would thoroughly recommend both of them to you. What's this one? Thanks, guys, for all the comments. Show don't work without you. So tune in live. Training for my first marathon in October. I need a shoe that can do. I think we've. Oh, did I mention it? I think, have you already asked this? Can do all my training and do race day. And I think I mentioned, if you mentioned this already, but if you're not worried about money, buy the Super Blasts. Just hands down, marathon training, and then you can wear them on race day, and it will do everything that you wanted to do. It is a phenomenal shoe. Like the Nova Blast, it does let itself down with the outsole, but you're going to train through the summer. I don't know where you live, but hopefully your marathon's going to be the conditions aren't going to be that slippery. But it is just such a good shoe. It really is. I can't overestimate or underestimate. I always say that how much the Super Blast is a great marathon shoe. It really is. Especially if you don't want to play in it. Right. What's this? Antonio. Today I used Deviate Nitro Elite after I began to have more and more flow ride in the X more comfortable. Okay. So yes, the Flow Ride Energy X from Reebok is a very good shoe. Budget shoe again. I would recommend you checking out that if you're looking for something with a bit of a plate in it. The Energy X is a very good shoe from Reebok. Watch your sizing, because I think they don't come in half sizes, if I remember rightly. I think I had a 9. Today I used Deviate Nitro Elite. The Deviate Nitro Elite is a phenomenal shoe, an absolute weapon. If you just want to go fast over like 5K, 10K, it's a fantastic shoe. I know some people use it for even marathons. But the Deviate Nitro Elite from Puma is such a fun shoe. It really is. I can't recommend it enough. And you can pick them up quite cheap as well. Who we got here? Hi, Chris. I missed the date for Ballot of London. Other than which marathon would you recommend near London? I want to run my first marathon under your guidance. Have you thought about a charity place for London? Maybe raise some money for charity. It's another way. I know there's charities that are out there that are trying to get people to run for them. So maybe, I don't know your circumstance, but maybe you could raise some money for charity and get a charity place. That's how I got into my first London. That's how I've done my, however many it is, London marathons now. I've done them all for charity. Might be a good shout. Or you still can do it, people. Join 40 Runs as an affiliated club member. We'll be doing the club ballot at some point. Got 4 places for 2024. What year is it? Yeah, 2024. Hi, 40 from Spain. This is awesome. What do you think about the Mizuno Wave Rider 27? Not tried it. Hopefully Mizuno send that through to me. We will see what happens there. Actually, I must make a note about that. Wave Rider, thank you very much. Wave Rider 27. I'll drop them a low, see if it's coming. So yeah, let's stand by and see what happens. I think Mizuno are doing okay things actually this year. They have been in the past boring, clunky, over-engineered shoes, but they seem to be doing very well this year. A lot of people doing Edinburgh. So big shout out to everybody who's doing Edinburgh half as well. So everybody's doing the Edinburgh half and doing the Edinburgh full at the weekend. Good luck to you guys. Let me know what shoes you're wearing in the chat. And if you're going for a specific time, here we go. Talking of which, Jane, running my first half marathon in Edinburgh on Sunday, took delivery of the Saucony Dolphin Elite. Woohoo! Do you think it's wise to run them? Yes, 100%. Because they can. Oh, you legend for getting that Endorphin Elite. Or stick to my training shoes. I mean, I would. Have you run in them? Because it's a tempting one to put one, but you've got to know they fit. I mean, how much running you plan on doing? I don't know where you are in your running journey. Are you sort of person who would still run like, I don't know, 10 miles between now and Sunday? I don't know. But I would really strongly recommend you get some mileage in them, even if it's 10 miles between, broken up over a few runs between now and then make a decision. Sizing can be a little bit funny on them. Obviously, famously now, Kafuzi's top of his, I can't remember which one it was, bled to death. And so it's a funny one. But yeah, I would, I don't know, it's a tough one. That's a tough one. My coach's head, right, says to you, keep your training shoes on and run them with your training shoes. My brain, the idiot that I am, lace them up and just cowboy up. But that's just terrible advice. So let me know next week what you do and how you get on and which ones you choose, okay? Stephen Simmons, evening all. Evening to you. There's Gary. He just want to say thanks to you and the team for everything you do. Really help my mental health. Yeah, you're welcome, Gary. Make sure everybody, if you're struggling, you make sure you talk about it. It's really, really important. What have we got here? I'm loving the speed, Endorphin Speed 2 for half marathons, 140 pp. That's awesome. But needing more protection during my first marathon, 345. I have Glide Ride 3 in Olympus, Endorphin Pro 3, or Saucony Pro. So Endorphin Pro 3, so that's the Saucony, or the Adios Pro 3 for your first marathon. Okay, I would probably go for the Saucony because the sizing of the Saucony Endorphin Speed 2 works for you. You have run in Saucony shoes. You understand how the foam feels. So I would recommend to you to try the Saucony Endorphin Pro 3. I think it's a fantastic shoe. I think it's a fast shoe. And I think you'll have a lot of fun in it. The speed roll technology is awesome. The outsole's good on it. And I think it will really, really work for you. The Adidas Adios Pro 3, as you guys, I'm guessing a lot of you watch all the stuff we do. You know how much I love it. And I think it's an incredible shoe. Probably my favorite pick of marathon shoes at the moment. But I think for you personally, I would go with the Saucony Endorphin Pro 3 simply because you've run your half marathons in the Endorphin Speed 2. There we go. Oh, here we go. Andrew, you got the Super Blast. He totally agrees with what I was saying about the Super Blast. Yes, people, get the Super Blast. Pull someone off at Easter with 25. I wish I'd known about that. I'd have had some of that. Penny's doing the Edinburgh Marathon for the third time. Okay, what's this? I just come into this. I'm just conscious of time. What are your thoughts about on Garmin track? It's funny, because I mentioned you, Richard. You mentioned that I was. I think I put a thing out on Instagram today. I don't know where my phone is. Hang on, Stanley. And I asked a question: if you, what's it called? If you follow Garmin's advice, so I put a thing out saying about. Sorry, I've got so many things on Instagram. I don't know about you. Here we go. If your Garmin says take a rest, do you listen? Now, so the results the survey says 82% of you don't listen, hardcore, and 18% of you do. So here's the thing. So today, obviously, I did Hackney yesterday. I usually do run on a Monday. And today, Garmin said on this 965 thing I've got, it actually said to me I needed a rest day. So you know what? I had a rest day. And that's the first time I've done that. And that's why I asked the question. That was the first time I've actually done that. I don't know whether it's good, bad, or whatever. We'll find out. But I'm not going to train to what Garmin says to do. It's like I was making the guys laugh on Sunday because they said about what we're running and all this sort of stuff on Sunday. And I said, well, I've got to run 1 hour, 55 minutes at 9:10 pace. So I'm running at 9:10 pace. And Speaker looked at me and going, how can you run half marathon in 1:55 at 9:10 pace. I said, no. I'm going to run 9:10 pace, hour and 55 minutes. He said, yeah, but that won't get you the 30 miles. I said, yeah, but that's what Garmin told me to do. So that's what that's what I'm going to do. By the way, I totally ignored that. So I don't necessarily pay that much attention to it, but you know what? I have found myself paying a little bit more attention to it while I'm not in a training plan. So I actually quite like it. It's sort of sparking debate in my head about stuff I should be doing. So it's giving me food for thought on, like, what day was it? It said I should run for, it was a certain period of time, like hour and a half at certain pace or something like that. And I ended up doing it because I thought, you know what, that sounds like a good idea. So I am enjoying it. So that's my thoughts on the Garmin. I don't know if it's not a training plan, so to speak, but I'm working on the recommendations on what it tells me in my watch every day while I'm not in a marathon training plan. So marathon training plan has kind of started-ish, but mainly because I'm looking to put the patterns into my runs from where I've come out of London. But I'm not giving myself the constraint of not doing what I want to. Probably doesn't make sense. So I've kind of started. I've kind of do bits and bobs as I sort of start the process of getting fully up to marathon training. I think I'll answer that in a long winded way. Right, you've got 8 minutes. We'll back through some of these. Had the sketches go run at ride 11 delivered yesterday. Tried them on today. Pretty much. I know, right? They are so mine. They are so comfortable. Admin ran the Hackney half yesterday in hers. She'd done 2:01. Wasn't trying. Just blasted about, and she ran them in the go. They are so comfortable at no pace. They are my favourite everyday shoe. So Tesco's 3 miles, coaching, whatever. So comfortable. Tells you everything you need to know. I wore them because I had to run in the ASICs. I wore them for the 8-mile walk or whatever it was to Hackney Half from Westfield. And then I did the run in the ASICs. Then I put them straight back on and then carried on wearing them. So that's what I was doing in the Go Ride 11s. They are a phenomenally comfortable shoe. I think I just made up some new English then. What's this? Even FORDY started my training block for York Marathon in a few weeks. Any tips for a first time? Also, I work a traveling job. Any tips around training with travel? Yeah, I think, again, that goes back to what I was saying. It's very similar to shift work. I would say look over like a 14-day period and pick bits out that you can fit in. Because net, you're still going to get the same benefit within those 2 weeks. So look at a plan and then look at it in 2-week windows is what I would do. Any tips are important tips for first timer? Yeah, just build in the plan. Don't try and rush out and run like 18 miles on the first week just because some idiot like me is doing it. So yeah, I would definitely bear that in mind. Don't try and rush anything in your marathon training. It's deliberately going to take you up slowly and get you through it. What's this? Jane. Chris, I stupidly took delivery of the Endorphin Elite. I meant the speed. Oh, Hero. Either way, do what I said. Brain says, Coach Head says, do what in your comfy shoes. 40 says, go for it. Okay, what do we got here? Beginner runner here. My first 5Ks next week. Good luck. What specific tips do you have for racing? If you're doing your first 5K and your first 10K, I would simply enjoy them. First out, just simply enjoy them, get the distance under your belt. Once you get the distance through your legs and you understand, then you can sort of dial it in and start racing for times. First time you do anything like that, yeah. So I would just enjoy them and then start going down. What's this? No, I'm not doing Ride London this weekend, Dave. I pulled out of that. I'm not doing that. I've been quite open about that. I'm not doing that. What we got here? Do you have any update on the Skechers Speed Beast? I do not, but hopefully I will have soon. Funnily enough, I said we was all in. Most of the guys were in Skechers. So Toe, Ben, Admin, Si all ran in Skechers at the weekend. So it just shows you. Will Speed Go be doing a video on their bike ride. I hope he does. That'd be it. Dave Robertson, absolute cop out. See, Dave, I find that offensive. You don't know the reasons why. I've been struggling with anxiety, and that's why I'm pulling out. It reminds me of people who said that I bottled it. I find that offensive. It's not a cop out. Just because I decided to do something because my anxiety overrides me. So it's definitely not a cop out, and I'll take that to heart. What else have we got? Monday and Friday are podcast days, so therefore rest today. Antonio, when we will release? Yeah, that's a good question. When will they release the new Energy X? I don't know whether there was one at the running event in Texas. I didn't see any videos or content based around the Energy X2, let's call it, for argument's sake. But I think I would like to see one. I would like to see one that comes in half sizes, for example. And I thought they will do new models, other brands. Yeah, I'm surprised they haven't. But again, I don't know necessarily whether they have it coming out and it just wasn't ready for the show. So let's hope that they do that. But I would recommend anybody to get the Energy X, in particular if you can get it cheap as well at the moment. And here we go. Aiming 40, I ran Leeds and Windermere. I think we said that. Really enjoying the videos and advice. Oh, thank you, Anthony. I appreciate that. Okay, right. So that brings it to a close. Oh, just seen Boston 12 release date is August. There we go, Mick. Well, fingers crossed I can get them a bit earlier. That'd be good, wouldn't it? And we can get some miles into them over the summer, and then we can put a video out. Let's see. I've got a feeling there's a load of shoe releases coming in June, which is cool. And I think there's going to be a lot coming out. I'm expecting towards the end of this week quite a few shoes coming in. I'm not sure what I can say. I can't say so. Best thing I say nothing. I've learned that recently. But yeah, so hopefully we get some of the shoes I'm expecting in, which will be really cool. And I think that's it. Like, again, thanks. And honestly, genuinely, right, really appreciate it. Really appreciate you listening. If you're listening to this on your run, and I really appreciate every single person who's commented and got involved tonight. I really do appreciate it. The show is nothing without you guys getting involved in the chats, and the show is for you guys. It's an opportunity for us to hang out and talk about running shoes and things like that. And until next week, I promise I won't have this drink before we go live on air. Right, guys, I think that's it. I don't think there's anything else. Yes, so let's call it a night there. I shall see you guys live on Friday at 7 o'clock. I can't remember what we're talking about, but we are talking about something cool. I'm on there. I think, is Hayden on there? No, admin's on there this week. Speed Goat's on there. Guys, make sure you tune in because Speed Goat is making a triumphant return to live stream on Friday. And yeah, I think Ben's on there, so we can talk to Ben about benning me the whole way around the Hackney half. Right, okay, guys, I'm gonna love you and leave you. I'm gonna put this up again just because I really appreciate him sending it to me, which is Hayden. If you've not seen this, he was in Baywatch, and obviously, as we all know, he was in the band Six, and he used to be in Oliver when he was young. Okay, guys, I will see you all later. Thanks very much for tuning in. Catch you later.